Welcome back to Adri's Farmhouse Kitchen. Today we are making oven roasted marinara. Most of our ingredients are homegrown and I cannot wait to start and put the summer flavor of tomatoes on a pantry shelf for the winter months. I am using the canning book, the all new Ball Book of Canning and Preserving, and the recipe I am using is on page 204 oven roasted marinara. I would like to go through the ingredients before we start to chop up the tomatoes and the onions. I have got 9 kilograms, 20 pounds of homegrown tomatoes. The recipe asks for plum tomatoes. I've got all sorts, mostly slices and cherries, so I've got the opposite, but I have to work with what I've got. I've got all the delicious different flavors and varieties, loads of them. So I'm sure the end result is going to be amazing. So I've got 9 kilogram. That's how much we picked exactly, a little bit over, maybe 10 kilogram. But I've got some bad bits, and so that will go to my compost bin and to the compost. Today's recipe also requires some onions, oregano, salt, black pepper, lemon juice, red wine. I think I've said it all. And some bay leaves. So I've picked fresh bay leaves from the garden. I've also grounded freshly the fresh peppercorn, salt and oregano from the shop. And the lemon juice. I'm using bottled lemon juice today. You need half a cup of those. And that's all the ingredients, friends. So I am going to start to roast the tomatoes in a roasting oven and a baking oven for an hour. So I get these ready, and I've got the 2 baking trays ready lined with parchment paper. The other one actually just took out from the freezer. The beans what we've shelved the other day, it's now been 48 hours in the freezer, so any bugs and eggs and larvae in them that should be took care of. So I'm gonna leave this to dry completely before we go into vacuum pack in mason jars. But because I'm going to need this roasting pan, I'm going to transfer all these lovely beans to a other dish. But these are the 2 trays I'm working with. And I'm also gonna saute or caramelize some onions on a little bit of organic vegetable oil. And probably that's it. So I'm just gonna get the chopping board, knives, the corer, and let's make the oven roasted marinara sauce. We are going to fill both of these baskets today with tomatoes, and if you've got time, I am tempting to dig up one of the sweet potato. We'll see, but yeah, let's pick the tomatoes. This is the Amish paste. I've got a few recipes in mind, so when we go to the kitchen we'll decide together what we are going to do with them all. This one is the Black Russian. It's beautiful tomato. Look how pretty it is. Wow. Black Beauty. So this one is still not ready. The ones looking red, like these, this one's split. Really needs picking again. The slugs munching on a few now, noticed. Look at this cane looking fantastic. Splitting, the loads splitting now, really needs picking. Still got so much left. Look at this mushroom basket. Beauty. It's a beauty. Oops. Dropped it. Some of these are unfortunately gone moldy, so that's treat for the chickens. That brandy wine, yeah. This brandy wine is looking amazing. Look. So pretty. We harvest a lot today. Everything what's on the ripening or ripe side, we are taking it. This is the green doctors. And that is, honestly, the delicious of all of them. So good. I can't believe how healthy these tomatoes still looking. Honestly, they literally look perfect. It just started raining, can you hear it? It is going to start raining really heavy, so I switched to voiceover because you won't be able to hear me. But I've just started picking all these lovely tomatoes and I'm going for it. I'm gonna pick the paste, the slices, the cherries, the lot. Mushroom basket. I really enjoy growing tomatoes. You know, it's my number one. Somebody call it fruit or vegetable. I call it vegetable. My favorite vegetable to grow. I usually start growing them March time, but I am leaning towards more mid to late March probably, when I sow the seeds in little module trays and in a heated propagator, and then we are putting on the little baby seedlings to individual pots and grow it quite a decent size before I usually planting them out in a polytunnel around mid to late May, when a possible last frost in my area in England is. And so from June onwards, June, July, August, it's that growing time when the plant really grow to this lovely size and start flowering and producing fruit. So by August, September time is when I pick it. This time it is end of September, mid to end of September now I'm started picking the majority of my tomatoes. It's the latest in 7 years I've been gardening. We had a very mild, almost cool summer in here in England, but look at this now. It is now coming in and we are going to make lots and lots of yummy things with them. We're gonna preserve and fresh eat all these lovely different varieties of tomatoes. This one here should have called grapevine, honestly, because I harvested like grapevine, tons on it. just stopped raining. This one is the most prolific. This red currant actually it's called. I would have called it grapevine. I think it's because it's end of September now. I'm just gonna go and give a very good haircut, to be honest. These red currant tomatoes, it's the bushiest tomatoes I've ever grown, and it just goes everywhere, just vining. I'm not sure if I am keen on this, it does look beautiful, but it's lacking in taste and it's just awkward to harvest. It takes ages. I've decided to pull these cucumbers, gherkins now, harvest what we can and compost the rest. I am using gloves. Yeah, it's time to pull all these gherkins. Actually, all of them are gherkins. I was hoping one for the animals, one for us, to have on the right side the gherkins, left side the cucumbers, but it's all turned out as they were gherkins, to be honest. So I've pickled some, fermented loads. We ate loads fresh. I gave lots to the animals, and I think it's time now, end of September. The weather is really cooling down now. We are getting close to freezing temperatures and they are just not doing well. So I might as well pull it out and replace it with some of our autumn crop. Probably I'm going to put some lettuces in here, chard, mixed varieties of lettuces, maybe some brassica. Still got loads of cucumbers on there. We're coming to the end now. They all turned really sicky looking, so I'm just going to harvest them all and pull them out. And I'm just probably gonna compost all these. We've still got carrots in here in this bed, oca, basil, tomatillo, this was the rest in a pickling cucumber actually. Pickling gherkins in fact. Look how much we've managed to harvest. It's loads. And I've got some for the animals as well. Okay. We can harvest the dill head as well. It's going to seed now. They're massive. They go everywhere now, that's why I've got all the volunteers of... Look how tall it is. I mean, I'll try to show you. It's massive. That's the loofah. It's very healthy looking, but it's in the beginning stage. You should about June, July time should have looked like this. It's 2 months behind. There are all those little baby loofahs on it, but honestly it's too late now. I'm not gonna pull them out just yet, but you know, that's not gonna do much. Let's harvest some sweet potatoes next. So the sweet potatoes are looking really well and just started to flower, so I shouldn't really pull them out, but I am I am so curious, so let's just do one. Let's see what's in there. Let's do this one here. No, it's not much there yet. It's just growing now, I think. Yeah, there is something there, but it's still very small. No, wait. Wait. We do this right before the frost. Give them a few more days. But they are doing really well for my climate, for my cold climate. Yeah. And I'll show you the flower. Can you see this beautiful flower? It's closing now because it's evening, late afternoon. But look at this. It's a volunteer. Beautiful flower. Okay, I've got everything ready. So I've got the 9 kilograms of tomatoes. We're going to need 1.5 cups of onions. So that's chopped about medium onions. 1 cup of dry red or white wine. We've got red, Malbec, that's all I have. Also 1 tablespoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 6 garlic cloves. Garlic cloves I missed out, 2 bay leaves and the lemon juice or citric acid. I gotta go and get some garlic, friends, and the measuring teaspoon and tablespoon measure. Okay, this is a homegrown garlic, probably gonna use the whole lot. Okay, I'm going to start with the tomatoes. So I'm going to chop them in half before we are going to add them on a baking dish. Take the core out. If it's got bad bits, I'm just gonna cut the bad bits out and the rest, it's perfect. And everything goes to the compost, what we don't need, or to the chickens. Chickens will love it. This will take me about an hour. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just lay them out, cut side down on a sheet of little soldiers. And as soon as I fill the first tray, that can go to the baking oven and the other one to the roasting oven. We are going to use the strainer to strain out the seeds and the skin. Also, what I'm tempting to do, as it's a big project, 9 kilograms of tomatoes we've got here, I might just remove quite a few of that skin. You know, as soon as we take it out of the oven, the skin should just slip off, and I would like to freeze dry those and make tomato powder. We've got somewhere, I can't remember now where I've put it, we've got some already done, so I'm waiting for a bit more before we can do a nice jar full of tomato powder, friends. All these beautiful, all different colors. Well, this recipe works best with plum tomatoes. Ours gonna be a bit runny, but never mind. I can either just cook it down, but I don't mind if it's a bit more runnier, on the runnier side. We've got quite a bit of cherry tomatoes. First I was thinking about if you would have had more of the slices of plum to make juice all these, because I like juicing all these cherry tomatoes, but I needed all this for this recipe. But we still got loads, so we can still do some juicing. I really enjoy tomato juice. Okay, I am ready to put the tomatoes to the oven. I'm going to put this in a roasting oven, slices, and the other one to the baking oven. 2 trays now in the oven, and I'm just going to carry on chopping up the rest. I'm probably going to put this to my electric oven, so I need to dig out some more trays. Beautiful tomatoes. We've still got so many left, but the frost is now very close. I saved it last time, we put heater in there. We only had like a touch of frost, and this week actually we might have frost again, so I try to save it again so we can have another beautiful harvest and we can make some more yummy things. I am using 8-pint jars today. The recipe calls for either 8-pint jars or 4 quarts, so that's the plan. I still got actually quite a few, about 6 jars left from last year in quarts, so I thought probably I am using pint jars would be ideal, so I've got options of pints and quarts, whichever I need. Most of the tomatoes are now ready. I have got 1.5 cups of that onion sauteing in this pot. We are now ready to sieve through the tomatoes. Before I do that, I am just going to remove some of the skin of these tomatoes. Can you see how easily it slides off? So we can, it's a bit hot still, so I can freeze dry this and make powder. We don't need to do this at this stage, because when we sieve it through, that will discard the skin as well. I'm only doing this to save it so we can freeze dry it. So I'm just gonna go through, take some of the skins off, and we are ready to put this through the strainer, and I'll come back with the next step. It's now time to put through all these lovely roasted tomatoes to my food strainer. So the pulp will come on the other side and the juice on this side. So this, by doing this, will remove all the seeds and the skin, leaving us with this lovely juice. What will go back on the stove with few more ingredients. Okay. Onion is now sauteed, looking and smelling delicious. Now I'm ready to add the sauce. And I'm just going to do a next batch and so on. I am ready to add the rest of the ingredients. So we're going to start with 1 tablespoon of oregano, 1 tablespoon of pink Himalayan salt, and 2 teaspoons of black pepper, ground black peppercorn. I'm gonna give it a good mix. To this I'm going to add 6 cloves of minced garlic and 1 cup of red wine. All in goes. Give it a good mix. And I'm going to simmer this for about half an hour or until I'm happy that the liquid reduced for our liking of the marinara sauce, and we can water bath can them. The jar's now in the dishwasher and my big pot is full of water, just coming up to a boil. Okay, our marinara sauce, oven roasted marinara sauce is ready. I've got the jars nice and warm out of the dishwasher. Everything is nice and clean. Lids, 2-part lids, it's ready. Oh, just one more thing I forgot. Half a cup of bottled lemon juice. I'm glad I remembered this. Perfect. Okay, and now I'm going to fill the jars. What I'm tempting to do actually, leave bay leaf in there. Leave ½ inch headspace. And I'm using a pint jars. Let's see how many we can fill. Probably I won't be putting the bay leaf. Actually, I'm going to discard because it's fresh. And I want to follow the recipe. The recipe says take the bay leaves out. And then we're just going to wipe the rim. I've got the white vinegar there. Grab some kitchen towel. And we're going to water bath can this for 40 minutes. The canner is on my electric cooker, boiling already. Made significantly more what I thought. 11 pint and nearly 2 quart. The quart jars I'll probably leave out, and we're gonna make something with those. I'm just wiping the rims now. Any food particle on it, should wipe it off. We've just got a kitchen towel, paper towel even, and just going around. Perfect. And now we're just going to add the lids, fingertip tight, and the canner. The water is now boiling. So we're going to add this to the cannon. Time is up. I'm just taking out the jars and we do the next lot. Good morning, friends. It is the next day and the jars over here now nicely cooled down. I've checked all the seal. We've got 100%. So that's a good news. I'm taking the rings off. As you can see, these jars are white, so I'm gonna wipe them off. It's our water, the lime scale. So what I do, I gently take these rings off and I'm going to wipe gently with wet cloth, not too wet. And suddenly look how beautiful this looks. So this is our oven roasted marinara sauce, what we've just made yesterday. It turned out it's supposed to do 8 jars and it is double. So I am very happy with the result because probably I used cherry tomatoes and slices, so they are more runny, but never mind. We've got a lot more. For 20 pounds of tomatoes we've used from the garden, about 9-10 kilograms. I think it was more towards 10 kilograms actually. So I'm just really wipe this down and I'm gonna write on the top what it is, oven roasted marinara, and I'm gonna put 2024, so I know it's this year's. Because we still got some from last year's we need to use up first. The oven roasted marinara sauce, it's ready to go on a pantry shelf. I have labeled it and then we are going to put them on the shelves, ready right when we need it. Okay, all done. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me today and see you very soon. Bye, friends.